Hey, good morning, everybody in Moto World. It's Morgan coming to you live from the Highland Cycles Nobby Lobby for Gospel of Two Wheels number 8. We're a little tiny bit early, 1 minute, to kind of get rolling and get everybody here. Have a cup of coffee. Look at that. It matches. How cool is that? Corbin Davis, what is up? You still haven't washed your bike. We are here to talk about lights today. Headlights, helmet lights, all sorts of lights to make you go fast. Good morning, Joe. What's happening? Wendell Geigley. What's up? Yeah, we're just here kind of letting everybody jump on. You know what? My bikes are washed, Corbin. My bikes are washed. So, I know that if you're watching this later on YouTube, you can't see the little comments coming up. So it may not be nearly as funny to you as it is to us, but so that's why you got to join us live. Follow us on Facebook. Check it out. We do this every week on Thursday mornings. And I'm not lying for the camera. I would turn it around and show you that they're both washed. But hey, Troy Spencer, what's happening? But yeah, we are here to talk about lights. I'd love to see Chris from Moto Minded check in if you're out there, Chris, because he is supposed to be joining us to help answer some questions about lights, because they have the super coolest thing like set up for lights, for headlights at least, and helmet lights, although I haven't used their helmet light yet. We're working on getting one of those to try it out. Roy Moline, what is up? Is that how I pronounce your name, Roy? Your last name? I'm pretty sure I got Roy correct, but is it Moline? I don't know how you're going to tell me yes or no. Well, you can tell me yes. Josh Hartler Road, what's happening? Hope everybody's having a cup of coffee. If you don't drink coffee, then I can't talk to you. Kim Jackson, what's happening? I'm just joking. We're open to everyone here, even yes, even non-coffee drinkers, although we find non-coffee drinkers to be a little odd. So, in fact, if anybody ever wants to join me on the Gospel of Two Wheels live here, I would be super happy to provide coffee. Or you can provide coffee if you felt like that was a cool thing to do. Just like the tractor, nice, right on. So let's get going here. We're going to talk about lights. First of all, let's start with why. Hey, Harry Reynolds, why you would want a good light on your dirt bike? Because we're not talking about street bikes or any of that stuff right now. We're going to talk about dirt bikes, because that's what we talk about here on the Gospel of Two Wheels is dirt bikes. So having lights on your bike, in my opinion, doubles the amount of time that you can ride your dirt bike. So it means you never have to stop riding. It means you can ride all night long, and that's an awesome thing. So I am a huge fan of putting good lights on a dirt bike, or at least a helmet light. Bryce Davis, what's happening? So here's my thoughts on before we go into like specific lights and chicken head. Thanks, Corbin. If anybody doesn't know Corbin Davis, you need to meet him and then punch him straight in the face. Cole Carmichael, what's happening? So lights. Let's just back up. Let's say you have no lights. Let's say you have a YZ 250, one of the best bikes ever. It doesn't have lights, really no way to run lights off the stator anymore. I don't think there's anybody making a good stator for that. Hey, John, what's happening? So that's a bummer. But let's say you have one of those and you want a light. If you can only have one light to go ride at night, and I'm talking about going riding at night, like having fun riding, not just getting home. But if you can only have one light, you need a helmet light, because the helmet light is hands down the most important light for actually going fast at night in the woods. We could talk about desert later, but anyway, so if you're out in like what we ride here in Colorado, even our desert in Colorado, the helmet light is the key, because you can see through turns as you look, everywhere you look you can see, and you can see over hills. Like the problem with the headlight is as you Matt, Christopher, good morning from the Garden State. Yes. Are you driving right now, Matthew? That's awesome if you are. As you're going up over hills, though, if it's just a headlight, it aims up and you can't see off the back side. So helmet light is the most crucial for actually going fast at night, because not only can you see through the turns, not only can you see over things. AJ, what's happening? It's just life is infinitely easier with a helmet light. So, oh, nice, NYC. So having a helmet light is, like I said, if you're only going to buy one light, if you're only going to get one, the helmet light is the way to go. I have found in riding a lot at night, including soloing the Baja 1000. I rode through 2 nights during that to get that done. And I didn't have a helmet light, by the way, when I did that. It was a huge mistake. The helmet light is the key, and then having it be able to be adjustable is hugely important, because when you stick it on your helmet, you always think you got it right. And you're like, okay, I got my helmet light, and then you go ride, and it's aimed the wrong stinking way. Usually it's too far down. What happens is because you don't realize how much your head tilts down when you're riding. So I've found that usually they're aimed too close to the ground, so you need them to come up. And a lot of lights, if you buy, well, a lot of them are like stick-on, and you stick them on, then you're done, right? And you can't change it. That sucks. So you don't want one of those. The Velcro on ones that I think Cyclops makes are pretty cool, because you can peel them off and change them. But they're not, the ones I've seen aren't super adjustable in and out and everything. The old Trail Tech ones were no good, again, because they stuck on, you couldn't change it. So I am a big fan of the Knight Rider brand. Yes, they're a bicycle company, but they've moved into the moto world. They have a really sweet jaw mount. Dave Dussel, what's happened? Jaw mount for your helmet that's burly, doesn't break when you crash and all that stuff. I might know. It's super adjustable, up, down, in, out, whatever. You can get that thing dialed in. So that's the best one that I've personally used. Hands down, Knight Rider. They're kind of expensive, but they're really, really well made and super well supported. The guys that I've dealt with at Knight Rider have been awesome. So I really like... Sup? What up, Eric? I really, really, really like the Knight Rider helmet light. Really, really excited about trying out one of Moto Minded's helmet lights, because they are supposed to be super adjustable, and they're a magnetic attachment to the helmet, so that if you did clip something with it, it would come flying off instead of yanking you down. That's another thing about helmet lights. Personally, I don't like to have helmet lights attached to the bike. That is a nice way of making sure you always have light if you're running off the bike's power source, because it won't, stator and everything, it won't run out and your battery won't die and all that. That's really handy. I don't like it because you got a wire hooked in there, and if it catches on things, rigid ignite helmet light, it's cheap and can run anywhere between 9 and 24 volts, so huge selection. Sweet. So cool. Bryce, that's awesome information. Yeah, and like, less expensive is a real thing, obviously, because it gets expensive pretty fast. Night Brappin', oh yeah, I like to burn everybody, then hide in the bushes and jump out and scare. Yes! That is such a good idea. I can also say that night riding is Mini Javier from Colombia, Cartagena, Colombia. Javier is tuning in. What time is it there, Javier? So when you're riding at night, more light is always better. Always, always, always. So the helmet light is key, because you can see around, and having a bright helmet light is really nice. Like I said, I like to run the battery style because it's just easy. You throw the thing in your backpack or your vest or whatever, and you're good. And I hope you all are watching the comments that are coming up. Again, if you're watching this later on YouTube, I know those don't come up, so sorry. You got to catch this live. It's awesome. But so now let's talk. So anyway, helmet light, awesome. There's a ton of options out there. the best thing the key is to get one that's adjustable, that you can move. Once it's on your helmet, you can move it around and get it aimed, because you can never guess right ever with the stick-on ones. That just doesn't work. I've tried it. I've watched it tried numerous times. It sucks. So I also, let's back up again. Sorry, I know I'm always crazy. I like jaw mount or low mount lights, because when you're up high, first of all, if you're on top of the helmet, you might knock it off or catch it on a tree or something like that and hurt yourself or the light. Also, when it's up there, you get this big shadow from your visor, so that doesn't help. Yes, plus, yes, exactly. Thank you, Bryce. When you crash, you can see exactly, it doesn't come undone, and then you're laying there going, where's my bike? I've actually had that happen where I've crashed without a helmet light, and the bike went off, and I seriously had a hard time finding the motorcycle, which is funny now, not so much at the time. So yeah, I like low mount because it's down here, looks out. You don't get the shadow from your lid. You still get the shadow from all your bike and all that, but you don't get the shadow from the visor, so that's nice. LEDs are really the only way to go. We can go back and forth about that. The old HID systems are pretty freaking amazing, but they have a chance of breaking. They have a lot of parts. They got a ballast and all this stuff, and things can fail. They're also really expensive. They are crazy bright though. So LEDs are the way to go. They're light, they're cheap, they last forever, they don't ever break, basically. Scott Willard, Baja Design Striker works well in combo with my Moto Minded Ultimate. Nice. Cool. Is a Striker, so Scott, the Striker is awesome. They don't make it anymore, which is a bummer. So, the Striker, I think Baja Design's got completely out of the helmet light game. So, now, I don't know, Chris, I don't see you on here. It's a bummer. Chris from Moto Minded was supposed to join us, but he's not here on the line, as my mother-in-law would say. So, anyway, that's okay, though. I want to talk about Moto Minded headlights. Well, just headlights in general, first of all. Again, most important, helmet light. Second important, headlight. Now, if you're just going to have something on your bike to get home, if you get caught out, then obviously, LED super efficient, correct. If you're just gonna maybe, you might get caught out, so you need a light to get home. The stock light, this is what the stock KTM light looks like, at least. This is actually not a bad one. It's got a halogen bulb in it, and it actually is relatively bright compared to how they used to be. It still sucks though when you're out in the woods and you got a long way to go to get home, because either you miscalculated or someone got hurt or something got broken, you had to fix it. I mean, there's a million reasons you might get caught out. So having a headlight is really, 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 really nice. So the stock one, not that great, not that fun getting out. Enter this. This is from our Daisy, our rental bike. And hey, Jeffrey Harper, what's happening? So this is from Moto Minded. Yes, Roy, you're correct. So I'm going to go into that in a little bit on the black fender thing for sure. So this is from Moto Minded, but I want to be really clear that, I mean, you can buy this whole thing from Moto Minded or us. We're a Moto Minded dealer, and Moto Minded is a Colorado company. They're now in Grand Junction. They moved from Colorado Springs over to the correct side of the state, which is awesome. But I want to be really clear is that the light itself is made by Baja Designs, right? So the light is made by Baja Designs, and some of the electronics is made by Baja Designs. But the cool guy, super duper awesome part of this is the mounting system that Moto Minded has come up with that makes this like incredibly easy to install and then also super adjustable. The problem with the Baja Designs mount and lots of other lights that are headlight, mount on your bike is that you can't aim them very well. They don't, they don't have much range, and I've found that they don't point in the right direction. So Chris at Moto Minded has come up with this. Hey, what's up? Nice. Yeah, look, this is a great light. So Moto Minded came up with this system, you know, it's like this bracket, which is cool, it has topo lines, which is awesome. And stuff, and it's awesome. It bolts right in. Like, it took me a total of 5 minutes, maybe, to take this light out of... Yeah, Steve, we can do that, man, for sure. And put this one in. We took, you know, like I said, 5 minutes. This light comes out of the stock mask. This light bolts in. Now you have way better adjustability. I don't know if you can see right there. You got the 2 screws that you loosen and then adjust. One thing I gotta say, Chris, this is the XL Sport light. I don't like that is an American Allen. I'm gonna tell you, like, the whole thing with this show that I do is I'm gonna tell you my absolute opinion, regardless of what anybody else says. That is dumb that's an American Allen. I don't know why on earth that would be an American Allen. I went to adjust it the first time I had it on my bike, and I didn't have a set of American Allens because why would I? I ride metric bikes, and I couldn't adjust it, so that sucked. Anyway, I was not stoked. So Chris, if you can change that, please change that. That's silly. I think on some of the other ones it's metric, but for some reason it's standard on this. I don't like it. Not going to keep me from running, obviously. Hey, Matt Larson. So one of the cool things about buying this from either Highland Cycles or Moto Minded Direct, either way, is that what Chris has done at Moto Minded is make this thing super clean and super sano. This little piece right here is the box that makes... Yeah, there you go, Eric. Thank you. You'll give a silly American Allen with the kit. But this box is what allows this light to plug directly into the AC, or alternating current, part of your bike. So on my KTM, on the shop's KTM, I didn't have to do anything to the stator at all. Nothing. I just used the AC lighting system that comes out that normally powers the headlights that are on the bike, and I was able to just plug this thing in directly with that little plug, which fits the stock plug. You don't have to do anything. You just click and then put the mask back on. And the reason you can do that is because this box has a little capacitor and a regulator rectifier and all kinds of fancy magic things inside of it that takes that AC power, turns it to DC, smooths it out, and then lets you run LED lights. Because LEDs have to run on DC power to work. So if you bought this from Baja Designs, you'd get the light and you'd get this box separately, and you'd have to figure out a place to put it. I did that on my XR 650, and it sucks. It doesn't work very well. Chris has come up with this really cool little mount guy that, you know, that this mounts onto the back of the light. Everything is super clean, and you just put that thing on there. I think it's like hands down the coolest light setup I've ever used, and I've used a bunch. Like, I have another LED on my XR. I've run halogens on XRs. I've run let's see, I've run some cheap LEDs on a bike that they sucked. They were fine, but they weren't very bright, and it was a hassle to wire. So honestly, I think, like, if you're looking for the cleanest, easiest setup, Moto Minded hands down has the best stuff, especially for KTMs. I haven't really looked deep into their Japanese stuff as far as like what they have to fit inside of other masks, but their KTM stuff is bomber and super clean. So so that's okay. That's my go on that. Chris Banks, what's happening? I really, 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 really like the thing. Oh, by the way, this Moto Minded kit, which is not the mask, although you can buy the mask from them if you don't have one, if you're on a XCF or something like that doesn't have it. But this inside piece with the light and the wiring and everything is $350, which I think is a smoking deal for something super. This is crazy bright, and something that is so easy to install. I'm willing to pay a lot more for something that is easy to install than something that's a pain in the butt. Big fan. So now let's talk a little bit about bikes and what you can and can't do. So some bike, and you guys shoot me questions on your bike, whether or not it'll run it, anything like that. So ask me any kind of questions that you have about lights and power and all that stuff. But I can say that you really need to do your research on your bike before you just start buying parts. Moto Minded is good about having the specs. Baja Designs actually has all the stator output specs for pretty much every bike. So if you know you've got I don't know, let's say you have a light from an old bike or something like that and you want to run it on your new bike, or your buddy has a light, he's going to give it to you. I don't know, what the myriad of reasons that you might have that. Do you need to get a stator for my bike, or could I set an extra battery in the airbox? Which bike, Corbin? Gas or the Yamaha? Corey Williams, what's happening? By the way, with any of these, if you don't want to upgrade the stator or anything like that, you can run them all on batteries. It just depends on how long it's going to last. Gas. So I'm going to have to do some research, but I'm pretty sure, Corbin, on your gas, you can run it off your stator because you have an electric start. If your bike has an electric start, a lot of times there's enough power there to run lights, but you do need to look into it. And gas, I haven't actually had a chance. Amber lenses. Dave, I have not used an amber lens. I know they're supposed to be better for dust. I've never used one. That's actually one of the reasons. Plug and play. There you go, Javier. That's one of the reasons that the Honda A team and B team, when American Honda was still racing Baja, they ran the halogen lights, is because they're more of an amber glow, more of a yellow light, and they like the guys going really fast like that light better. It was more natural light and less white than the LEDs. I've run a halogen, but I've never run an amber lens on an LED. It would be interesting to check it out. Mark Bloom, what's happening? Corbin, for the Yamaha, I'd have to check in. I don't think your Yamaha makes enough power. I can't remember. Is your 250 is not fuel injected, is it, Corbin? Let me know. That's the other thing. Most of the new fuel injected 4-strokes, and I think the 2-strokes too, a lot of them have enough power to run lights, just plug and play. It's crazy. You can, hey Butson, what's happening? You can actually take a KX 450, for instance. You can just take, you can get a Baja Designs light from Moto Minded or wherever, and you can just plug it into the system, and it's got enough power to run a headlight. It's pretty cool. So stator on the, there you go. Yes, TTR 230. The Kansas ride mostly gravel roads, needing long projection. I'm looking at the Trail Tech. I'm looking at this, the 7-inch LED. My thoughts. Hey Patrick, what's happening? So Sam, I'm sure that's really, really, really good. I mean, it's a huge light, and if that's what you're doing, then I think it's probably great. Trail Tech makes really good stuff. I just don't like their helmet lights very much. I don't know what they have now, but the ones they had a few years ago weren't my favorite. But I can also say that, Sam, so this is the XL housing. It's the Sport LED, so it's only so many lumens. It's still crazy bright. But they make, Baja Designs makes an XL Pro that is like the sun coming up. I'm telling you, it is crazy how bright that thing is, and it throws a long, long way. The XL is cool. It's got different lenses down here from up here, so that it this is more of a flood down here, and this is more of a spot. So, I'm sure that Trail Tech is really good and probably throws a long way. I would take a look at this just mainly because of how clean this mounts, and you don't have this giant hoop, but I mean, if you're into that, like, which is actually super cool looking when you have a bike that's set up with a big old giant round headlight, then I would say that it's probably awesome. And like I said, Trail Tech makes really good lights. I just don't love the helmet light mounting. Let's see. Said, but the Baja races have been at night for me, except for the 250. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, I've spent a bunch of time um, at night in Mexico. Baja Designs does seem to be, I mean, yeah, as far as I can tell, they seem to be the best. And I think Baja Designs mated with Moto Minded for the mounting. Again, I wish Chris were here to help me answer this, but I'm pretty sure Moto Minded only makes, I mean, really all they do is take and I don't mean all they do in a bad way, but what they do is take the Baja Designs light and the thanks, John. They take the Baja Designs light and make a really sweet mount for it that can mount up really clean and nice and easy in your headlight mask, your stock mask, or with their mask. They have their own stuff too. So okay, back to power systems, what they'll run and things like that. If you're running a bike, like for instance, the 450 XCF KTM, new one, 1718, I can say for a fact that yes, they are fuel injected, but they they don't have enough power in the stator to run they don't have enough power in the stator to run the biggest, baddest headlight, because we've put a few on for some guys. You got to buy a stator. Rick's makes a stator for it for, I think it's $174. It's not that bad, and it makes all the power you could ever want. And you can run the biggest, baddest light you can ever imagine. So Dave, the Milwaukee battery setup is a legitimate thing. Short coffee break. We had a customer who set up his bike with a Milwaukee. I think it was Milwaukee. It wasn't DeWalt or anything else. For his street legal CR500, and he ran lights all over it. Put a Milwaukee battery, put a little tail bag on it, put a Milwaukee battery, made a harness, plug that thing in, and that thing would run the little LED lights to be street legal forever. It was sweet. So yeah, you can run battery. The problem with if you're going to go racing at night or going on a long ride at night, batteries fail sometimes. Things happen. It gets ugly when you don't have any light on your bike. So it is nice if you can. Hey, Scott Erickson, what's happening? It's really nice if you can to have one running off the bike. Like I said, I like to rebuild it as well in case you need lenses. Yeah. Eric, absolutely. Actually, I'll see, this is a lens that just has these little Allens. They're probably metric Allens too, unlike that one. Seriously, Chris, come on. No standard stuff. Anyway, I'm joking. But so it's sweet. This lens comes off, and you can put a different lens. You can flip it, I guess, and have the flood up high and the spot down low. I don't know why you'd want to do that. But so yeah, Baja Designs is rebuildable. You can send them back, and they'll fix anything if you have any problem with the circuitry. Because the one thing I can say about LEDs is that there's a lot of computer stuff going on back there to tell the LED how bright to be and all that stuff. And all those things do add up to the fact that you could have problems that could, it could fail. I've never really had a problem at all. 6-inch light bar found in the trash in one of the Corbin, I don't know what you're talking about. John, I highly recommend getting a light. Like I said, if you want to dip hey, Mickey Payne, if you want to dip your toe into the night riding world, get a helmet light. Like first, get a helmet light, go ride at night, have fun. You'll have a blast. Like all of the trails that you've ridden a million times. I mean, around here, we're very lucky. We have tons and tons and tons of trails, so we don't get too tired of them too quickly. But, you ride the things over and over and over again, and you get used to them. I wouldn't say bored with them, because it's always dirt biking. But, you get over the trail. When you go ride them at night, brand new. A completely new experience. It's super, super fun. But the one downside to night riding I can say is dust. If it's dusty, you don't want to be in the back on a night ride, because all these lights that we're talking about are they magnify the dust situation. The tomorrow, man, I don't know, dude. So Corbin asking me if I want to go ride tomorrow. The problem is I am still in a lot of pain, unfortunately. My hip is still jacked up. I've been on the bicycle trying to get that fixed. That's going better, but I have a doctor's appointment on Monday, so we're going to start that process. Yes, I'm a sissy. Does anyone, I'm saving myself for the October 14th, if anybody's interested, October 14th, the Ultimate Dry Creek Experience with Highland Cycles. So Mickey, the yellow, I haven't used yellow racing. Everywhere is night riding, John, because no one's out there. I mean, I know, I hear what you're saying, but you could just go, because it's night and they're all sleeping. So Mickey, I have not used yellow racing. I am interested in trying the yellow lens. I've raced a lot at night, never with a yellow lens. The white seems to work well. The yellow probably a little bit better for the dust, but I think that the reality is dust at night sucks no matter what. So I don't think there's really much you can do to gain a whole bunch of advantage over just the white light. But I will try it. I might have to look into Baja Design, see if they send me a yellow lens for this to try it. But yeah, I think lights are worth every penny. It's also nice, especially if you have a bike that'll run the headlight without having to do too much work to it. It's nice to put one on there just in case you get caught out in the mountains at night, because that sucks so bad. I've ridden out of places with no light. I wish Kenny Clamper was on here right now, because he could talk about the night we spent on the plateau, and I didn't have a light, so I pinned it. And at one point, Kenny took a rock to the eye because I was on the gas so hard trying to get back to the truck before it got all the way dark. And I think it was actually all the way dark by then. So, oh, dang. Bryce is leaving for Maui. I'm so sorry for you, Bryce, having to go to Hawaii and have fun. So yeah, let's see, what time is it? It's 8:01. We're going to shut this thing down just a little more on time. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you have any more questions, put them in here. I'm going to be watching the comments on this. Send me a message personally on Facebook or to the shop. If you have any questions about lights, let me know if we can get you one. Be stoked to get you one. Like I said, we're a moto-minded dealer. We're a Baja Designs direct dealer. We're pretty much a dealer for everybody. Night Ride, again, I really like my Night Rider helmet light. I'm excited to try the moto-minded one. I think it's going to be even better. Quick list of events. I'm not riding tonight, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, exactly. You bet, Eric. So here's the thing. Here's our list of events coming up. The next one, October 14th, Ultimate Dry Creek Experience, just west of here. It's going to be gnarly. It's going to be hard. 10 bike limit. Show up. Be here. It's going to be rad. We're going to have fun. But just know that it's going to be really hard, and we're probably going to break things on people's motorcycles, including mine. I'm going to be riding the KTM, maybe, well, unless someone rents it, then whatever. So October 14th, that's a Sunday. Come join us in Dry Creek. It's gnarly, it's hard, it's rocky, it's tight, it's technical, super duper fun. Gonna be an all-day ride, probably 60, 80 miles of gnarly stuff. The next thing we're doing is the Gold Rush in Oklahoma. It's the 2nd through the 4th of November. If you want to join us, it's up near Tulsa. It's the most fun weekend of racing I've ever done. Super excited. Thanks, Matt and Andreas. Great seeing you the other day. Then the Turkey Burn, November 23rd, is the Friday after Thanksgiving. Join us for that. It's also going to be in Dry Creek. It'll be a little more mellow as far as the hardness. Do a live ride. John, that would be so sweet, but we do not have the internet connection out here on the cell stuff to do a live ride, but that would be way cool. We do live conditions reports from Peach Valley sometimes, though, because we do have a good enough cell coverage out there. So yeah, Turkey Burn, Friday after Thanksgiving. Don't go shopping. Don't do Black Friday. Ride your dirt bike have fun. That's what it's all about. I hope everybody has an awesome day. I hope you're thankful for something. Pick something to be thankful for today. Every last one of you. If you're down the dumps, find something to be grateful for. It'll make you feel better. Yeah, it's time to get to work for me. I hope everybody has a ripping day, and I hope you all get out and ride your dirt bikes.